Call to order the City Council meeting for Tuesday, June 6, 2017. Stand for the pledge, please.
Of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
At 5:30, we had a closed session, and direction was given to staff during that. Next is approval of the agenda. Is there any changes that are needed? No? Public comment?
We can't hear you to make a public comment.
John? Okay, I'll try and talk louder, sorry.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve?
So move. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Next, we have staff updates. Is there any question by council about the report?
No.
I have two, I was trying to look and not sure if I saw it on here. It has to do with the OTP for COG. Were those reported in there, or should I ask that during council update?
You can ask it now.
Okay.
The admin draft, we just got the admin draft for the RTP, and we'll be getting the draft here really shortly, I think on June 7th. You'll be getting it tomorrow night, probably at the COG meeting, but we will bring it to the council just for a quick review, probably the second meeting in July.
Okay.
So,
And what project were put on that draft? Is it just everything from the last couple years moving
yes,
forward?
yeah, everything, and we also added the Angels Creek Trail projects on there as well.
Okay.
And the project, as part of the planning, partnership planning grant projects, we added a lot of those projects were already on there in terms of Angel Oaks and Foundry Lane, but we also put some operational improvements to 49, I think, on there. But I'm going to have an update at your next meeting. You'll have an update of where we met, 'cause I met with Caltrans today, and so I'll have a much more comprehensive update at the next meeting, so.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And then, for you, website, I'm still getting complaints. So I don't know if that's something that we can talk to Derek about revisiting that contract to maybe look to figure out how to get that fixed, because those are mandates that we have to.
Yeah, I do have they're on I believe, a yearly contract. I could be wrong, but I do have it out. We're going through it. I'm also Susan is checking into certain agencies that might help us get into that software for that website. So yes, it's on my list to do before budget.
Okay, and then maybe find out from Derek how we can get out of that without too much of
It's a
a.
yearly contract, isn't it? Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Well.
That's all I have. Questions? Okay. Move on to council updates. I will start, no?
None to report.
Okay.
None to report.
I have one, Utica Water and Power. The city, at our last meeting, we approved the budget, and the city, or both city and Murphy's will be contributing a total of $85,000 this year to Utica Water and Power, and that is actually a good number because it was a lot higher a couple days before at 160. So that includes our 40,000 mandate and then an additional to keep operations going. We approved the budget, and we also got a presentation on a new hydro generator to put on the Afterbay, in the Murphy's Afterbay, and the board approved to go forward with that. The company will be putting up the initial money to get the project starting, if it all goes according to plan. And then Utica Water and Power will be paying back only half of the investment over about a 10 or 11-year period. And then after that, it is all profit. So that is good news. And that's all I have to report. Okay. Public comment. Most of you already know what this section already says, but the portion of the meeting is reserved for the public to wish to address anything not on the agenda. State law prohibits the city council from acting upon matters not listed on the agenda. Is there any public comment? Nope. Okay. Move on. Consent agenda. We have 2 items on the consent agenda. Is there any council comment? No. Public comment? There a motion to approve consent?
Motion to approve. Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And on to regular agenda. So number 1, Angels Camp Business Association update. Candy.
Tim.
All right. So, good evening, everyone, and thank you to everyone coming to support ACPA. And I want to say good evening to the council and members. My name is Candy Myers. I am president of the Angels Camp Business Association. My address is 587 Gelding Road, Angels Camp. I am here to give an overview of Angels Camp Business Association. And so we're starting, we have a slideshow presentation. And so just starting off, okay. And so this is our mission statement here. Basically, we came up with this about 5 years ago. And to spell out ACBA, it's Active Community Businesses Aligned for a Successful Angels Camp. The history of ACPA, it was basically started in approximately the 1960s by downtown businesses, and originally was called not Downtown Merchants Association, as Jim Turner corrected me, but actually it was the Angels Camp Merchants Association. And it involved, it grew and it narrowed and until it's evolved to what we call includes the downtown, uptown, and all around town, and here in Angels Camp. And so it's been active since the 1960s. And we've been involved in the life and the commerce of Angels Camp. Our membership is open to any company doing business in Angels Camp, as well as individuals who are interested in helping to make Angels Camp a better community. ACPA's purpose is to really to unify and involve the business community in order to promote and support business success and the goodwill in our greater Angels Camp area. Our membership has grown. Actually, 2015 was our biggest, but we're not done yet for the year. It's actually just half over. And we currently have 111 members, business members in the Business Association. Our board of directors, and I'm going to read them off quickly, but please stand for those of you that are are here. Starting with me. Vice President is Dwayne Garcia. He could not be here tonight. Treasurer is Kathleen Bennett. Secretary is Kathy Russell, who is a local Angels Camp resident here. The board consists of Amy Bradley, Ann Forrest, who is past president, Peggy Harwell, who is brand new to the board, she's with Calaveras Customs, Bob Middleton, also past president, Tim Oskey, hopefully someday a future president, Sherry Smith, and who is now actually, has her own business, but now with Ironstone as their general manager. Donna Stevenson, also past president, Jim Turner, past president, and Marilyn Smith, who is now on the board, also a new director. And of course, last but not least is Jessica Johnston, who we could not do without. Thank you, Jessica. What does ACBA do? And we sometimes wonder, what does ACBA not do? Because we feel like we do quite a bit. So basically, our events are services for the Angels Camp businesses that we provide. One is business networking through our mixers and our events, grand opening for new businesses, at our Coffee Talk Tuesdays, and I'll talk more about some of our events. Marketing and promotions for members through our interactive website and Instagram and Facebook. Downtown landscaping, I'll go into more detail there. The outline, the lights on the historic downtown buildings, that's actually at night you'll see what we call the landscape or the rooftops of downtown are outlined, and that's what that entails. And then also we provide scholarships for the Bret Hart High School students. The downtown and improving the quality of life in Angels Camp. We're trying to do that through our many ACBA-sponsored events. We're the ones who raise the money to put these events on and to keep them going year after year. And with all our many volunteers that help out. One spring sidewalk sale. This mainly is downtown Angels Camp, small, but we had a fun this year. And I'll just briefly read through. We Taste Calaveras, the Food Truck Festival, brand new this year. Our Certified Farmers Market, Mark Twain Wild West Fest, Christmas Parade and Open House, and our hometown Christmas Gala. So downtown landscaping, we have, and I didn't believe Ann when she told me we had 56 barrels downtown in that kind of 1.5 block area, but we do. And I helped plant them about 3-4 weeks ago with 3 other Garden Club volunteers and a couple other volunteers. And I want to tell you, it was, we got it done in just a couple of hours. Now the hand watering, we actually pay for the watering. We pay $350 a month to have them watered, and they are hand watered literally with buckets or watering cans that they can only fill up from 3 different locations. Downtown, water is supplied by 3 of the merchants and donated. And they walk those buckets up to each and every one of those barrels. During the summertime, during rainy season, they get a break, but they do go out and weed them. They fertilize them regularly and check them. And they also help to replant them. But during the summertime, when it gets over 100 degrees, they usually average water 2 to 3 times a week, but during our heat spells, they water daily. So they earn their money, but it does cost us about $4,500 a year. We do the replacement planting. We provide the all the materials, which we just did for this spring. We did skip last fall replacing, but it was about $800 also to do that. So the way we've been raising money, we started a sponsorship program by local businesses. We actually just started sending out letters saying, and we came up with the idea to put plaques on the barrels. It's been a delay, but they actually are ready, and I hope to start putting them, we'll start putting them on the barrels within a week. But they say for those, everyone donated $150 per barrel, and we have approximately 30 barrels that have been sponsored. Utica Hotel sponsored 9 barrels, and also, yes, Betty Weeder sponsored 6. And so that's how we've been able to make the money to help keep the barrels watered. So they're still alive. Building outline lights, so we help with coordination, the repairs and the replacements of lights. We help monitor that and work to have them done. Our business mixers, these mixers we've now moved them to quarterly. And we had started to have a few more, and then we've had less, but it just especially in the summertime, it does get slow. Our mixers are open to all our businesses and residents of Angels Camp. You don't have to be a business member. We host it at different business locations. The one coming up this month on June 14th will be held at the New Maloney's Marina coming up, and if any of you were there for the grand opening and mixer several years ago, it will be quite a shock to see the difference of where the marina now sits. We also make it a point to make introductions to new businesses. We have existing businesses will give updates, and it's just a great networking opportunity for everyone. The picture is actually the most popular site for mixers is Middleton's, and that's the picture on the left because everybody gets to sit around in all the furniture and gets real comfy. And the one on the right is actually a really fun mixer we had at Sutton's Rock Quarry, and it was just surprising how much we all learned from it and enjoyed that mixer. Bret Harte High School scholarships. We award scholarships to multiple graduating seniors each year based on how much money we've been able to raise. This year, we've given $1,000, I believe, yes, 2 scholarships. And so the money was raised through donations from ACPA members and actually even other area members also. Coffee Talk Tuesdays. This started, we're thinking of, it's getting close to 2 years now, and it has been just a huge success. It's fun. We just had one this morning, and we had, I think, the biggest ever. We had 16 people there. Chief Bordahl was there, and for the first time, we're really happy to see him, and hope we'll see him at many more. And we had interesting conversations with him. We had 3 other new people that had come to the mixer that have not been there before, but we've had city council to all our leaders and here and supervisors. So you never know what the conversation is going to be. So no agenda. And also it's great networking opportunities again. Spring sidewalk sale. This is held annually in the historic downtown, and we help, it's more put on by the merchants, and we just help out with what promotions and advertising we can do. We do buy balloons, and we actually borrowed the bunny suit, the bunny from Ironstone Vineyards, and I'm not even going to tell you who was inside because you just won't believe it. And anyway, it was raining that day, and we still had lots of kids show up, and that bunny was quite entertaining. So, and we usually have entertainment, and we have wine stroll, but we didn't do it this year. It was so close to Easter, we made it more about an Easter event. So, grand openings, we hope to promote new businesses by providing grand openings, and we do advertising and press releases for them. And we invite all our local elected officials, and many of you do come from the city council, and we thank you. And we supply the ribbon and the scissors. And so the last one we had was the Allison James, thanks, grand opening. Taste of Calaveras, this is was the 11th annual Taste of Calaveras. And we have, 2 years ago, we moved it to Ironstone Vineyards so that we could grow the event, and also we wanted to make it more, because it is all about all of Calaveras County. It is not an Angels Camp event, and we had had some comments previous years that they thought it was just Angels Camp, and it's not. We work with other business organizations here in Calaveras County to promote it. This year we had 23 wineries, we had 16 restaurants, caterers, and food artisans, 15 artists, food and wine demonstrations, 3 of them, and we had 261 attendees and approximately 24 volunteers, and which included the Saddle Queens were there to help out, so that day. Angels Camp Farmers Market, our certified farmers market, this is the 12th year. It is, it just started last Friday and will be held for the next 17 weeks through the end of September. We attract approximately 300 visitors weekly, and it's June through, as I mentioned, we have live music, so a lot of local bands, and thank you. And acting mayor. And a beautiful poster this year, we're real happy with it. We have over 25, I mean, it will rotate from fewer to more, started out a little slow last weekend because of the Bret Hart graduations. And next week, or this Friday, may be a little slow too because of Ironstone's biggest concert ever in their history will be held. We have a beer and wine booth, which is also how we help to make proceeds to carry us through. And we have about 4 to 6 volunteers weekly that help out. Summer Nights Food Truck Festival. We had our first annual on May 27th. There will be 3 more events. The last one was, the first one turned out to be bigger than we had really anticipated. It was fantastic. Lines were like an hour and a half long waiting for food. The food trucks all sold out. We had a couple of food trucks that didn't make it up the hill.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Are there going to be, I was thinking we need about 6 more food trucks or something.
Yes.
Is there'll be more now that they
Yes.
see that there's people that'll come to it?
Right, now that they know what, because none of us really
It was
knew
amazing.
how it was going to happen.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, now they're really excited, and that's going to just get more people, food trucks excited. And it turned out to be a great venue there at Utica Park. We could control it. We had signs posted. We had live music, and we estimated 1,200 to 1,500 people were there. And so we had people that were not against it, but were not happy about it because they felt it was going to take business away from our local businesses. And it turned out that we filled most of the restaurants. after the event, this was 4 to 8, but a lot of them who didn't want to wait an hour and a half for their food ended up going to the restaurants. So it was great. Our Mark Twain Wild West Fest, this has evolved over the years, and we have renamed it now to officially the Mark Twain Wild West Festival. And this has been, even last year was a huge success. We estimate 3,000 to 4,000 people. We had 95 vendors last year. There took over 100 volunteers to help put the event on. That's from all the parking, the various areas involved, and all the many, many meetings of volunteers to help put this huge event together. So we're looking forward to it again. It will be October 21st, yes, October 21st, and hopefully no rain. Christmas activities, our pine bough making is held, is annually. I don't even know how many years we've been doing that. But we have approximately 20 volunteers that get together at Wayne and Sons Automotive in their garage. They open it up, they get tables for us, and we make over 200 boughs by hand, and they hang them between that night and the next morning. We hang them up and down from the top of Main Street all the way to the bridge and on the bridge. And these are live pine, and that is collected each year. Someone goes up, I think, Jim, you did it this year. Jim?
I just arranged.
Okay, he arranged it, so, and we save our pine cones, sugar pines from every year. So, believe me, it takes up a whole storage unit. Let's see, our annual Christmas parade, we had approximately over 30 participants. You can decorate your bike, whatever you like, or a float, and again, we had some rain, but we estimate there was about 1,500 people there downtown, and of course, there's always Santa on a fire truck. So, the downtown open house and wine stroll, all the businesses participate. We have anywhere from 5 to 7 wine tasting locations. We had approximately 150 participants last year. We sold quite a few of our wine glasses that you have there in front of you. And then our hometown gala is always a fun event. It's held each year at Camp's Restaurant. We have music and dancing. We usually have over 100 attendees. We have a big silent and live auction. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. And I just learned this day, today, shock and awe. Did not know never heard of that, but we have a surprise shock and awe event each year. For those of you who have been to our gala, we've had Sherry Smith riding through on her horse. We had her bring a steer through the restaurant one year. We had motorcycles. Firefall Jewelers came in with 3 of their big motorcycles covered in lights, came through the back door, out the front, and I'm not sure what else we've done. And then we had the naughty Santa last year, and he got naughty. Yeah. And so, okay, so benefits of our ACPA events and services. Number one, they're all networking opportunities for our community and our businesses. We're providing, business support and advocacy, increased occupancy for area hotels through our events, which, of course, in turn increases our TOT. We have prime sales days for for merchants through these events of bringing people into Angels Camp. And we ran the numbers, and it was well over 16,000 people that we bring into Angels Camp or to the events, because it includes locals and outside. We promote our events from Fresno to the North Bay and all of the Bay Area. And Sacramento, we get visitors from all of these areas. And the benefit that we're trying to create a place for people who want to live, work, and play and enjoy Angels Camp. Future of ACPA, well, we'll see. We would like the future to be expanding our membership, collaborating with organizations to sustain and grow businesses here in Angels Camp, and also maintain community events, and maintain our events through, for the betterment of our business community. I want to thank you for your support. Right now, I know it may not be monetary, but I know the city is supporting us, and we appreciate it. And keep coming to our events. And so we're dedicated still to promoting the businesses in Angels Camp and all the events to attract people. So anyway, that is it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I apologize if I ran over in time. That's nerves.
Wine glass.
Oh, yes, you didn't.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh, and I do want to mention two more things. I'm sorry, I know I just finished, but in the wine glasses is our restaurant guide. ACPA prints these and provides them. We are printing less copies at a time so that we can keep them well updated. And definitely, it's surprising when you look at it how many eateries we do have here in Angels Camp. And the last thing I'd like to say is happy birthday to Debbie Ponte. One last shot. Okay.
Thank you, Candy. Is there any comment from council? No?
I just want to say thank you to ACPA. Since I've lived here, I've tried to participate and attend in regards to being membership, helping out, going to the events, and it's really nice that that this is a good community and ACPA is part of that. So keep up the good work, and we'll keep supporting you. Love the farmers markets.
I think it's really good too. It just draws the community together, it gets everybody involved and kind of unites, and then the word goes out and travels. So, you get a lot of it word of mouth about what's going on. So it's a great advantage for our community.
And bringing in all the new ideas too, like the food trucks.
Yeah, that was good.
I know, that was fun.
Fine. Thank you. So, on to our next agenda item, approved resolution adopting the Calaveras County Local Hazard Mitigation Plan. Dave, are you up?
Good evening. So the item for your consideration is adopting the Local Hazard Mitigation Plan, which is a FEMA requirement, Federal Emergency Management Agency requirement, to apply for pre-disaster grants and loans from that agency. It's required to be updated every 5 years, and this last update was led by the county, by a consultant, Foster Morrison. And we were added in as an annex this time rather than just merely by reference. What this will do is allow us to apply for grants on these items that were listed as pre-disaster mitigations. Some of the items that were listed in there were everything from wildfire prevention, clearing, all the way down to stuff like, I think I put in there some solar panels for this building. The grants aren't, if we adopt it into our general plan, the safety element, then the grants will be somewhere around 90% funded. But it all depends on the amount of funding available that they have. So it could be less funding after all. Basically, that's it.
Any questions from council? Okay, any public comment? Oh, okay. Then let's move to adopt resolution 1720, adopting the Calaveras County Local Hazard Mitigation Plan. Is there a motion?
So move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you.
Agenda item number 3, ballot measure to change the city clerk and city treasurer from the elected to appointed positions. Mary.
Well, City of Angels is a general law city, and because of that, we are required to have an elected treasurer and elected city clerk. There are no requirements for this. You can just get on the ballot and and if you're voted in, that's it. There's no education requirements, there's nothing. I personally have been city clerk and city treasurer for the last 12 years because no one has run against me. And one of the things is I cannot run for both offices at the same time. So when I run for city clerk, we try and see if someone runs for treasurer and they don't. So we end up appointing me because we put ads in the paper, no one ever runs for it. So last year, previous council asked staff to look into changing these positions from elected to appointed to find out what it takes, and it has to be a ballot on the Calaveras statewide election. I've checked into that, and it's approximately $5,000 to put us on the ballot for June of 2018. You will save money because the stipend I receive is $300 a year for each position. And then we wouldn't be placing it on the ballot, so you would save from that point. It's really, I got to say, that the treasurer position is sort of ceremonial. I'll be honest that I've been treasurer since 2006, and I've only done one thing for the city that required a bond signing as treasurer. In most cities, like it says here, 480 cities in California have an appointed clerk, and 307 have an appointed city treasurer. And usually, the city treasurer is under the city manager, or it's part of their job duties, and the city treasurer is under the finance officer. And that's actually what I would recommend. So what we're recommending is for you to, if staff wants this, if council wants this, we will put it on the ballot. The drawback is if it needs 2/3 and of the residents' vote, and if it loses, you will lose $5,000. And then we would have to put it on the ballot again in 2018.
The November 2018.
November, yeah,
Okay.
November 2018. And so that's, I don't know if there's any other questions.
Do we have public comment before we bring it back to, any public comment? Okay. Council?
Well, I think it's a good idea that we try. We make the effort. I do think it is kind of a concern that we could, waste $5,000. But on the other hand, if we can get the information out that it's only $600 a year, that we're, right now would just be incorporated and we would save money. But every election, we wouldn't have to do the 5,000 and.
At some point, you'd save money because the 600 would absorb from that
Yeah.
5,000.
And the whole thing is it is not unnecessary, if we can get across to the public about it's not unnecessary and it isn't
It's not.
very desirable, and people aren't running and, just the problems that then I think if we can get that across, then I think people would vote for it.
Yeah, I would like to see this go forward. The only concern I have is what you mentioned is the 2/3 vote. So how do we just educate the pros and the cons, mostly, the cons and the struggles that here at council we've been having to deal with, filling that void.
Right, and I've talked to Derek about this, and there's he's talked to me about the measure and how it will be written to make, because don't pass, and then there are those that do. So him and I discussed it and how to look at the ones that did pass the measures, how they were written on the ballot, so that the citizens would see that it's to their benefit to have someone that has some training and education. I mean, to be honest, city clerk, I do have some training stuff on it, but as a treasurer, it really should go under our city finance officer, because it's a matter of someone knowing what the money is and stuff, and it's just, but I think Derek will be looking at, city attorney will look at the measures and word it out to really try and benefit the residents.
I agree. It makes financial sense. It makes sense across the board. Having the ability to make sure that someone in that position is educated, has some kind of background, some kind of experience. You don't want me being treasurer. It's like,
That's right.
yeah, it's important.
Really
And again,
It's kind of funny.
budgetary-wise, it's advantageous to the city itself and our citizens.
And coming up with our budget, we had Julie has figured out with the money to go forward with that.
I don't know, we're sort of waiting to see what you guys are
Okay.
doing
Well,
first,
then
but
we'll
we
just-
haven't,
Okay,
Amanda, can I make a comment on it real quick, or is it too late?
yeah, that's fine.
Can you go to the podium, please?
Okay.
Hi, Bob Middleton, 557 Live Oak Drive. In the last 50 years, have we ever had two people run for city clerk? Not that I don't ever
know
remember
unless-
more than.
I wasn't here for 50 years, but I would say
No, but if
that
you go back, I mean, it was Jackie Hines was city clerk for,
for a long time.
God, for as long as I can remember. And then you, I don't know, if there was
No
someone
one
between you.
has.
Oh, Judy King,
was-
right.
Well, she was deputy, because she had to reside in the city, and she didn't. So
Okay.
she was picked as, that's one of the things, you have to reside, you have to be a resident of the city, and that's only two requirements, is you have to
Live in the city.
live in the city, and there's.
So, I mean, that would be
be a
one of
voter.
the sell points to the cons is like, we've never had two people run for the position.
No, not as
I mean, you have
long
to
as
put it
I've
on a
been doing
ballot, pay for it to be on the, and you're appointed to it automatically, so it doesn't, it's costs less than being on the ballot, but not when if you don't have multiple people running for it, why do you want it on the ballot, period? So I agree with you 100%, but that would be the sell point I would push out, is you've never had, hate to tell you how old I am, but as long as I can remember living here my whole life, I've never seen two people on the ballot. Susan can probably verify that, too. She's younger, though.
That's it.
Good comment.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, so let's go ahead and, is there a motion to adopt Resolution 1718, calling for a ballot measure changing the offices of city clerk and city treasurer from elected positions?
I'll move.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So now calendar, and then I think we have some dates that we need to talk about too.
Okay, what's on the calendar now is, on tomorrow night, on the 7th, is COG in San Andres at the Board of Supervisors chambers. The Planning Commission meeting for Thursday night, the 8th, has been canceled. Museum Commission meets at 8:30 on the 15th. LAFCO on the 19th.
Where's that?
Oh, this one's
That was
canceled?
canceled.
That was canceled.
Okay, I didn't have that.
LAFCO was canceled.
Oh, LAFCO, that's right. It's canceled.
Okay, we've tentatively scheduled budget workshops, the 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd, times to be announced, and then we're back here for city council on the 20th.
Those two meetings, the planning commission, it was canceled for the 8th, but has it been rescheduled?
No.
No? And we don't know about LAFCO, if it's been rescheduled.
Well, July, we'll just move to the next one.
Just moved to July,
Yeah.
okay.
And now you're July 4th.
July 4th is when we would schedule our council meeting, the first Tuesday of the month. We want to cancel the council meeting or change the date.
And then the next one would be the 18th in July?
Yes.
I mean, that makes sense, it's a holiday.
We can cancel the meeting, and then as we go along to see what's going to be on the agenda, if people give us agenda items, then I can either do a special meeting if we need to, if there's an action item before the 18th, or we'll just do it on the 18th, but I'll play it by ear that way if you want. So
Yeah,
if you
let's
just
do that.
agree that we should cancel on the 4th, and then we'll just do it that way.
Yeah, my concern, since I'm not going to be here then on the 18th, so if there's a backload kind of pushing towards that, I'd hate to miss a lot, versus. yeah.
And I'll make sure of that, because if we have to, we've got the week after, if we had to do it, do a special meeting and go from there.
And then the 16th, aren't we having trash day in the city?
Are we
Yeah.
having what?
Trash day, like collection trash day?
is on the
Okay.
16th.
So,
I did not put it on
so
my
it's a 4x4 within the city limit that you can leave it outside?
It's 6 a.m.
Okay,
It has to be outside, but I think it's 4x4, and there's flyers at the city,
Yeah.
there's one on the website, I think,
Yeah.
but you have to leave your stuff out by 6 a.m., and then if they forget it, there's a number you can call back, and they will pick it up for you, so.
And that's on the 16th. trash
16th,
day.
right.
and then
Are
we
there any
have,
limitations of what people can put out?
Yes.
Yeah, we have flyers at City Hall, and you can also call Cal Waste with questions.
Right, you can't put out oil and paints and things like that. I think the county has that like a couple times a year.
Right.
And that's something you can check on at the county website, see when they take those liquid things.
and then we also have the fire burn.
The
What
Utica-
day is that now? Because I've seen multiple dates.
Of the burn?
Yeah,
Okay, I think there's a burn on the 10th. That's depending on the weather, because
Yeah.
if it's really, really hot, and the fire marshal said that if he's here, I should let him say, I don't think he's here. If there's not a lot of wind, if there's too much wind, they're going to really watch what they're doing, but it's just a fire burn around Utica Park, underbrush. And then I think isn't there another one too? No.
yeah, I thought there were two. Anyways, yeah, so that's coming up in the next week, so. And there's enough posting for both of them going around so the public knows, correct?
I'll check that with
Okay.
him, but yeah.
Okay. That's it? Okay, so we will adjourn.